it's Holly here at Faces. Welcome back to the Face It podcast. This evening, I'm joined by the gorgeous Aimee from Aimee Jones Aesthetics. Aimee, thank you so much for joining me on the podcast. I'm so excited to have this conversation. I just know it's going to be a great one.
I'm just so excited. I literally am so grateful that you've asked me here. It's an absolute honour, so I can't wait.
Oh, bless you. Right. So, just talking a bit more about you then, Aimee. How did you get into the industry? Where did it all start for you? And do you want to just give us some context into where it started, how you got to where you are now?
So basically, I didn't do very well at school. I've never been one to be able to do exams. I'm not academic in the slightest. I actually failed business and economics. I just wasn't very good. So I went into the beauty route, which a lot of people are like, oh, here she goes. Like, you're not going to earn from that. So I have done beauty from about 15. And I actually went and worked on cruise ships. So that's what I went on to do. And that's where it took me. But unfortunately, I couldn't continue that. I was injured. I was disembarked medically. A whole nother story. But I met my now husband within that, so that was amazing. But then we took a different path where we just settled down, got married, got a house, had children. So I literally just took a 9-to-5 job just to literally pay the bills. And I found myself, after having my son, I just had a mental breakdown. Like, full transparency, I just didn't know who I was anymore. I didn't enjoy my job. I just felt like I had no purpose anymore, and I really, really struggled. So I looked back at thinking, okay, can I get back into beauty? Like, that's what I've always loved. I've always done it on the side for like friends and family and stuff like that. So I never completely stopped. And I'd always wanted my lips done, and I was really frightened to have them done. And then one day I just went, do you know what? I'm just going to do it. Maybe it's going to boost my confidence, make me feel a bit better about myself. I thought, I'm just going to go. So got my lips done, and I was chatting to the girl. She was absolutely lovely. And we were chatting away, and she was like, oh, yeah, I actually don't have any beauty or any medical background. And I was like, wait, what? What do you mean?
Tell
And I
me
was like, hang
more.
on a minute. Yeah, I was like, tell me what's happening here. And yeah, we just got this conversation, and she just sparked this passion. Obviously, my lips were beautiful. I was so happy. It boosted my confidence. And then next thing you know, it just ignited this fire in me. And I was obsessed. Like, I was just aesthetics obsessed. I was like digging out all my old college work, like the anatomy of the face. And I was like, I am into this. Like, this is a bit of me. Like, here we go. So yeah, literally just went from there and booked a course. I actually put somebody in debt to book the course, but there we go. So there was never a reason. Like, I always knew I had to make it work. So yeah, that's pretty much how I got into aesthetics.
Amazing. Just going back to what you were saying about, not being necessarily very academic at school and then choosing to go down the beauty route. I had this conversation with someone recently. When I was at school, and I'm sure the same with you as well, it was like beauty was basically for people who weren't academic. And it was that
Yeah.
stereotype. And do you know what? It really pisses me off now, because I would have loved to do beauty. But I mean, I wasn't amazingly academic or anything like that. But there was just a certain group of people within my year who did beauty that I didn't associate with. And it is a real shame that there was that kind of stereotype back then, because now look at you all, absolutely smashing it. You failed your business exam. Joke's on the examiner who failed you. Now you're literally running your own business, smashing it. Like, I love that. And I love that there was still like a part of you that wanted to do something beauty related, but it just wasn't necessarily the right time for you. And then aesthetics just hit the spot, which is fantastic. So
100%.
obviously you had your kind of, you wanted to make it work. You put yourself into debt to get to do the course. You had that fire lit, like you say. What worked for you in terms of actually starting to build your client base? Because I know this is something that a lot of practitioners do struggle with.
So I'm not going to lie. When I first started, I definitely thought, here we go. Like, yeah, we're going to have clients lining up. Let's do this. Oh, okay. Nobody's lining up. Oh dear. Right. What have I done then? So I literally finished my training, and even so, when I first started, back then it was enough to be posting just the before and afters, and it was enough to be posting like, you know, 3 times a week on socials, and that was okay. So for back then I was very consistent, so I was posting every other day. I was doing my before and afters. I was doing like reels of myself showing up, really putting my performing arts GCSE to work, you know, living my life. But even with doing that, I didn't have my first paying client until 2 months in. So I had 2 months where I thought, oh my God, like not even really any interest. Like I thought, oh no, what have I done? Like how am I going to do this? And really the main thing was just keep bloody going. You know, even when you don't see that diary filling up, you've got to keep going. You need to hold on to your why. Like I said earlier, my why has always been my family. Like the fact that my husband literally was like, don't worry about it, I will do all the overtime. So he missed out on a lot of time with our son because he was working so much to facilitate my dream, essentially. So I always knew I have to make this work. Like I've got no option. I'm doing this and I'm making it work because he's not just sacrificed all that for nothing. So you need to really hold on to your why and make that your core purpose, and then you'll be able to push through. But it's not easy. Like it is so difficult, especially when you're on your own, because you think, oh my God, what do I do?
Yeah, no, exactly. I completely agree with you. All the people that I speak to who are now running successful businesses, it's because they've either been in debt, or they've had their children, or they've been like haven't had a job, and they've needed to make it work, whatever it's taken, and it's got them to where they are. And yes, I completely believe and trust in what you're saying there. What advice would you give to people now who are coming into the industry? Like obviously you could give them that same advice of, you know, hold on to your why, but going back to the social media element, like you say, you can't just be posting your before and after pictures these days, and it's really hard. So, you know, what advice do you give to new practitioners now who are coming into the industry in terms of how to build that client base?
All I'm telling them is you've got to be consistent, you need to show up, and you've just got to keep going. So like a lot of people, like with social media now, you've at least got to be posting 5 times a week. That's at least, like that is bare minimum. So when I say that to people, they go, no, what are you talking about? How? I haven't got clients. How can I post? You can, like, you can make content out of so much more than before and afters. Like, to be honest with you, the before and afters just don't cut it anymore. Like, people are expecting so much more now with socials, and it is something that's always changing. So in another 6 months, it'll probably be different. You know, it's just one of them things. It's always evolving. You've got to keep up with it. But consistency and showing up, you need to show yourself. You need to let people know who you are. You need to let people know where you are and that you're there and what you're offering. And don't worry, like this is something I get a lot from new practitioners or anybody trying to run any sort of business, is they're almost frightened or they're deterred from showing up as themselves. They kind of get into this sense of like, I need to be commercial, or oh, but so and so down the road, or then people might take the mick out of me. So what? Let them. Like, they're not paying your bills. Don't worry about it, darling. Like, in a couple years time, they'll be saying to you, how do you do it? Like, honestly. And I mean that like in the nicest way, because when I first started, so many people used to take the mick out of me and be like, oh God, what's she doing now? Oh, here she goes again with them reels. Oh my God, how cringe. And now they're like, oh my God, you've inspired me. How do you do it? I want to start a business. And it's like, oh, well, that's funny.
Look who's laughing now.
Yeah, literally. So that's one of the main things.
Yeah, and just, do you know what? Take it back to basics. Put your phone up on the side and film yourself setting your clinic up for the day. Like,
literally.
Film what you are going to be doing anyway. I found myself watching all sorts of stuff like that. Like,
oh my God, yeah, literally. Like some of the stuff I watch, like,
yeah, literally, I love it. Like, watch me set my clinic up. Just them like setting the clinic up. Nothing interesting, but best believe I'm watching it till the end. I want to see what the finished product looks like.
Yeah, or like clean down with me and it's somebody just like anti-backing and
Yeah,
spraying stuff down and cleaning. I'm like, that's so satisfying to me. I love it. Show me more.
yeah, literally. Who cares about the before and afters, you know? But yeah, just
Yeah,
back to
who gives a
basics.
crap?
Also, someone said the other day they printed off loads of flyers and went around the local streets and just filmed themselves having an autumnal walk with their pumpkin spice latte doing flyers. I
I
thought,
love that.
what a great idea. Because a flyer
Yeah,
is going to sit on someone's table. It's not just going to be swiped past. Go back to the old days and
exactly.
print off some cute flyers. Go around your local street.
100%. You can do both with that, but you're getting your like in-person marketing and you can still do social stuff with that as well. So
Yeah.
it's literally
Little
two for the price of one,
voiceover.
babes. Like, let's go for it.
Yeah. Come with me
Yeah,
as I post my flyers with my Starbucks today on an autumn day. Little picture of the trees. Love it. I'd
literally. I
so
love
watch that.
it.
So yeah, guys, just
Yeah, so
I'm
do I.
obviously an expert in social media and marketing, so take my advice, please. Uh,
Yeah, take my advice, guys. Come on now.
just going on to treatments and clients then, Aimee. So obviously things have changed since you started, like trends are changing, like we've said, new products, new treatments, everything. What are you finding your clients are loving at the moment?
So my thing is lips. Like I just love, love, love lips. Like they're my thing. That's my niche. That's what I'm known for, is my lips. Literally, ride or die. Here we go. So generally, I don't know. I get quite a bit of a difference. Like I went through a stage where everyone wanted the huge, huge lips. And in the beginning of this year, I've done a lot of dissolving where people ready to like strip back,
Yeah,
start again, have that natural. So I feel like that I've still got my clients that love a big lip, but I do feel like some people are starting to be like, do you know what? We want a bit more of a natural approach. Like, don't want to be completely natural, but just want it to be more like subtle. And because
yeah,
lips have changed, even since I started, like, lips have changed and evolved so much. Like the techniques now are absolutely incredible. So you're getting more lift, more height, you know, keeping it flat to the profile rather than it just being protruding out and like a bit sausagey. And you know,
yeah,
people are coming away from that now. We want like more of a natural approach, but still looking like we've had a bit of lip filler, you know. We still want a little
yeah,
bit
for
of pump
sure.
here and there, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, when I first got my lips done, there was no talk about technique or, you know, how do you want them to look? It was just like, I'm going to get my lips done, and that was it. Just getting your lips done. Like that was it. Like no talk about,
Let
you know,
you
how I
go.
wanted them to look or anything. And that's how it should be. So you obviously do your Jonesy lip master classes as well. So you love your lips and you love doing lips. So you thought, right, I'm going to show people how it's done. At what point did you feel you were ready to offer your expertise as a tutor?
So it's something I've wanted, like, to be fair, as soon as I got into the industry, I really felt like, do you know what, I'd love to teach. And that has somewhat changed because I love teaching my lip master classes, but I don't think I want to take the route of like doing beginners training or anything like that. I don't think that's actually for me. So it did change a little bit. So I always thought I was going to do the teacher route. But it was the beginning of this year, I really sat down and thought, do you know what? Actually, my lips are pretty good. Like, without tooting my own horn, I was starting to get a few people like messaging me, other practitioners. I think that's when it started to click. Like, I could help people quite a lot. And as well, like with the social side of things, the end of last year, and I'd say like most of this year, I've really dedicated into my marketing and my social media. And I thought I could actually give back a lot to practitioners of all the things that I wish I could have learned.
Yeah.
So like I wanted to do something a bit different. So my master classes are literally 9 to 5. Like it's all day. I'm not doing like a few hours. We are literally there all day, honeys. And most of the time we run over because I do love to talk. And I just want people to know everything, all the ins and outs. So yeah, I go through the actual social media side, how to actually get your content, like how to take your pictures, everything, and obviously the lip technique itself. But yeah, I love it. I really do love it.
Do you know what, it's that extra added value that you're putting into your courses. It's not just, okay, let's talk about this treatment and this technique. It's the business side of things, because no one gets taught that in their training, and that is so valuable. Like it's hard running a business. I'm acting like I don't, but I know it's hard running a business because I speak to practitioners every day. And you have to wear so many hats, don't you? It's not just doing your treatment. It's becoming a social media expert, being an accountant, knowing where to get your stock from, all of that. Like it's crazy. And I think, you know, people who stick at it and want to do well, they will do well within this industry. So obviously, Aimee, you are a Volifil and Lumifil ambassador, which is amazing. First of all, fantastic brand. Oh, absolutely love those guys. Mark, what a legend. Just love the packaging, love the brand, love everything about them. How did you get to that point? Because I know there will be thousands of practitioners out there that, you know, it's one of their goals or dreams to work with incredible brands like Lumifil and Volifil. So tell us how it all started and how we got there.
So I literally just started using Lumifil, and I would tag them in because they're so great. Like Lumifil's so great for resharing your stuff. So yeah, I started using Lumifil, absolutely loved it, and I literally just solely use them. And then they brought out, I think it was around a Black Friday deal, maybe around this time last year, and they brought out that they were doing Volifil, and they had like a really amazing offer on. So I was like, let's just go for it. I think I ended up with like 40 boxes of filler.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, that was a bold move, because if I don't like it, I've got 40 boxes. Like, what am I going to do? Luckily, I absolutely loved it. And I love Lumifil, don't get me wrong, but I really loved Volifil. Like, it was just, I got on with it a lot better. So then I solely was using Volifil. I was tagging them all the time. You know, I was just always hyping them up. Like, I love your brand. I love your product. And then, next thing I know, I got a message from Chelsea, who's head of sales. She wanted a phone call, and I was like, oh, what's happening? What's going on?
My time's come.
I was like, oh, this is literally it. I've made it, guys. What's happening? Lumifil want to call me. So I spoke with Chelsea, and she basically just said that they're obviously launching Volifil and they'd love me to be a brand ambassador, one of their first ones as well. So it was like, what the hell's just happened? Like, this is absolutely incredible. And then I was really fortunate enough to meet them maybe a month or 2 months later at an awards ceremony, actually. So it was really nice to meet them and see everybody. But literally, I think if you are really passionate about a brand and you love using a certain brand, like, let them know that you bloody love it, you know, like, hype them up, use their products. Like, if you want to be an ambassador, or if you would love that opportunity, then you've just got to believe in the product. Obviously, if you're like not sure on a product, then I wouldn't. But if you love it and you actually have the passion for it, I don't know, Chelsea might say something different, but I feel like maybe they picked up on the fact that I actually was passionate about the brand and that I really actually just loved using it, and I used it all the time, and I literally would tag them in everything that I did. So they probably got sick of me. I was like, sort it out, like, honestly.
Like, we'll just keep her quiet. She could be an ambassador.
Just keep her quiet because she's too much.
But you're so right. Lumifil, amazing brand, and I can guarantee, like, if anyone tags them, they're resharing, they're commenting, they're tagging you. And I'm sure they're not the only brand who do that as well. You know, like,
of course not.
There's hundreds and thousands of different brands for dermal filler, skin boosters, all of that out there. So
amazing.
If you find that one dermal filler or skin booster that just really works for you and your clients, like you say, tag them, tell them, you know.
Tell them you love them, you know.
The worst that's going to happen is they'll be like, oh, this person said a really nice thing about our brand. Like,
exactly, that's it. That is literally it. I mean,
exactly. What that kind of leads me on to the support aspect. And I know support and kind of the culture of the aesthetics industry is spoken about quite a lot, because there's not enough support, in my opinion. I think there can be when you're going to awards, you're working with amazing brands, you're in that kind of circle. But I think for a lot of people who do feel very alone in this industry, it can feel just really isolating, and particularly when you're seeing a lot of like bullying online and stuff like out there, I think it can discourage quite a lot of people as well from doing well in this industry and pushing forward. What's your kind of experience with that, and what advice do you give to anyone who's maybe feeling that way?
Well, first things first, their opinion, anybody who's got anything negative to say, that's not your business. Like, don't worry about it. Keep in your lane. Like, honestly, do not listen, like block outside noise out. And I know a lot of people listen to be like, oh, but it's easier said than done. I know. I unfortunately have actually been through this firsthand. When I came into the industry, I was bullied and harassed by other practitioners. So that's why I am so passionate about supporting other practitioners. Like, I will say it once, I say it a million times. I don't care if you're 8 minutes down the road or 8 hours away, I will show you the same support and the same respect. There's enough to go around. We're all completely different. Like, we all have our strengths and weaknesses. And if you do have a weakness, having support within this industry is amazing, because you can then seek help and advice from others and vice versa. It's something I'm really passionate about. Like, I never want anybody to feel how I did when I first come into this industry. I spent a lot of time crying. I spent a lot of time thinking I shouldn't be here. Like, maybe they're right and I should just quit. I mean, I'm glad I didn't listen, because it was just, unfortunately, a bad experience, and not everybody's like that. But unfortunately, there is there is a bit of it, and I think you get it with any industry. I don't think it's just aesthetics. I do think it's a lot of industries in a whole. Unfortunately, people, if somebody comes into something, people are threatened, which it shouldn't be looked at that. You should see it as like, this is great. We can succeed together. We can help one another and we can boost each other up. You shouldn't be like looking and being like, oh my God, like, let's bring them down. You know what I mean? Like, it's just not a vibe. It's not for me. And it's just horrible feeling. So I'm always very open, and I'll always support anybody. Like, there's people in my area and I will support them, no different than how I would support someone who lives hours away from me.
Amazing. So guys, get messaging Aimee and she'll become your friend.
Yes.
If you're feeling
literally.
I'll be your friend, Aimee will be your friend. And do you know what? I think it comes with experience as well, doesn't it? The longer you've been in the industry, the more friends in the industry you're going to have, the more opportunities, like the awards, like working with brands, where you're going to meet like-minded individuals. So I think, for those who are maybe feeling that way, who have recently come into the industry, or, are starting to build their business, it will take a little bit of time to find your kind of community within this industry as well.
100%. Yeah, 100%. And I urge anybody, like, find a community. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I literally am known for being hype girl 101. Like, I literally will comment on people's pictures. I will like stuff. I will literally talk to you and be like, oh my God, where's your bag from? Like, I just love people and I love hyping people up. And I urge everybody to be like that, because honestly, some of my friends in the industry, or pretty much most of my friends in the industry that I've made, has come through, we're commenting back and forth, or like we start messaging back and forth. And like, now I've literally got friends for life who I consider like best friends, who I talk to daily. And some of them literally in my area, and we hype each other up and we boost each other up. So I really urge, like, I know it's difficult and it does feel really hard to put yourself out there, especially if you have had a bad experience and you have had people, not be the nicest to you, but try not to let that put you off, because I promise your circle is out there. Like, your people that align with you are out there. You've just got to find them. Like, not everybody will be negative. There is some absolutely incredible people in this industry. And hell yeah, I agree. Like, if you ever feel lonely, please just message me. I'm here to hype you up. Anybody that's ever messaged me
every day now.
Literally, yeah, 100%.
Oh my God, why did I say that?
What did I sign myself up for? But that's it. Like, I love it. Honestly, I love it. And I don't want anyone to feel like lonely. It's just a horrible feeling. So yeah, my DMs are always open to anybody at all. So please feel free to message me. You'll probably get about 8 voice notes back, but
oh my God,
we move.
I'm literally right. I need to get your number, because I feel like we need to like go for a drink, because I feel like we're quite similar people. Yeah. Definitely. So yeah, guys, message me as well, because I don't want to be left out.
Let's get a group chat going.
I've got so many group chats, it's ridiculous. Like loads of practice ones. Anyway, so just to finish off then, Aimee, first of all, I've just loved this conversation. I feel just sometimes when I podcast with someone, not everyone, but I get those select people where I just finish the day and I think, oh, that was so good. Like you just have a great energy, and I think the advice you've given to practitioners has been amazing. So I'm hoping other people have benefited as well. But just to finish, where are you headed with your business? What's next for you? Have you got big goals and dreams lined up? What are you thinking? What's going on?
Oh, honestly, I can't keep up myself, guys. Like, I just can't keep up with myself. My brain is like a million miles an hour. Like I said earlier, I thought I already had my path but written out, and I thought I just naturally had to do these steps to like get that next progression and get that next like success. But what I've learned is everyone measures success differently, and not everyone's path has to be the same. So if you're sat there at the moment thinking, oh my God, like I don't want to do this next step, and like, are people not going to think I'm successful because I don't do that? Don't worry about it. You're on your own path, your own journey. That's something I'm learning. So my path has completely, like, I had 2 months where I was like, I don't even know what I want to do next. Like, I don't actually know where I'm gonna get my energy from. Like, what's my enjoyment? What's next? Because I'm someone who doesn't want to do things just for the sake of it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I have to enjoy it to do it. So yeah, I've recently like put a lot of energy into some new projects, which are all coming together nicely, and I'm really, really excited. But I have just recently put something out there for practitioners to help them. I have been doing these workshops for business and social media for the last few months, but I've basically evolved that, and now I'm starting up mentoring for practitioners, literally dedicated to their business and their social media, and literally just get this hype girl in your pocket 24/7. So take that as you will with that information.
Amazing. So guys, if you want a friend, message me and Aimee. If you want to have an incredible mentor, message Aimee. I'm going to do it. I'm not even a practitioner. I want you to be my mentor.
Join the team. Join the team.
Absolutely love it. Do you know what? I've absolutely loved this conversation, Aimee, and I wish you all the successes in whatever you end up doing next and with your business, because yeah, you're just an incredible person, and yeah, I've loved it. So thank you so much for coming on the podcast. All right, I'll speak to you soon, babe. Bye.
Amazing. Thank you. See you later. Bye.